Very hard. Earlier this month, the Meese Commission lashed out at pornography, causing a controversy in the process. Now there's a new controversy. One of the adult film industry's biggest stars, as it turns out, wasn't an adult at all. Gene Wolfe has more in our news studio.
Tracy Lords, one of the superstars of the adult film industry, has been working as an underage minor for most of her over 2-year adult film career, according to Los Angeles district attorneys. Their ongoing investigation centers around whether those in the adult film industry knew she was a minor when they hired her to participate in adult films, because that is a felony crime. Tracy Lords began her career in 1984 with a pictorial in Penthouse magazine, and with the first of what would be dozens of adult films.
Tracy Lords has become recognized as one of the major actresses in the adult film business. She, according to investigator Rooker from the DA's office, has produced 70 to 90 different features in which she's been involved in one way or another.
But Los Angeles authorities now say Tracy Lords became an adult in May of this year.
She just turned 18 about 2 months ago. Right now she may and probably is a very hard professional. But this started out 3 years ago when she was a 15-year-old runaway, and she was just so much grist for the mill of the pornographic film industry.
Attorneys for those in the adult film industry who work with Tracy Lords say she provided identification under a different name, showing she was an adult.
The basis for that information that she gave to producers came from a certificate of live birth, copy of which I'm holding up, and it bears on the back of it a certification showing that that in fact is a true document.
Birth certificate indicates she was 18 earlier, then it'd be a false birth certificate.
Lords is cooperating with the district attorney's investigation to examine an industry which they suspect too often employs minors.
She was told by them to get an ID, but it was done, as she tells us, with a wink and a nod. That is, just get some sort of paper so that they can have something to cover themselves in order to establish that she, or they at least believe that she was over 18. I think it's pretty clear that they knew perfectly well that she was a 15-year-old kid, and they used and abused her, and that's what we're looking into.
Anyone who knowingly produces, exhibits, or distributes adult materials employing minors is subject to felony charges. So the adult film industry has reacted strongly to news of the ongoing investigation.
No materials in which Ms. Lords appears in sexual conduct, no matter how briefly, should be rented, exhibited, or sold.
The people in the adult business have pulled millions of dollars worth of film just to be circumspect about it, to show the kind of care and concern they are for a problem of having a possible minor involved in an adult film.
You know, it's interesting to see how the porno film industry has reacted. They seem to feel like they've been victimized, as if their standards have been besmirched. We're all very familiar with how high their standards are.
Lords herself lives in Los Angeles, but according to her attorney, Lords is in seclusion at an undisclosed location, having been driven from her residence by reporters. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office says that current plans call for no charges to be pressed against Lords. Rob?
All right, Gene. Well, news people from around the world have gathered in London for Wednesday's royal wedding. For an update on Britain's biggest story today, here's Entertainment Tonight's Selena Scott with royalty expert Nigel Dempster.
It's not every day that you get an invitation to a royal wedding, so it could pose a problem when it comes to buying a wedding gift. I asked top royal watcher Nigel Dempster what you would buy Sarah and Andrew.
Well, like anyone furnishing a house, which they're going to do at some stage, what they've asked for are sheets, linen sheets, white, not pink. They've asked for crockery and cutlery, they've asked for furniture, they've asked for painting, they've asked for waste paper baskets, they've asked for serviettes, they've asked for this and that, kettles, toasters, orange squeezers, all the sort of things that people need to set up house.
The good news for wedding goers is that the couple is registered here at the General Trading Company in London. The Sloane Square shop is trendy, but far from chic and very affordable. But what about life after the wedding? The couple themselves admit their lifestyle will be very different from Charles and Diana.
And for the foreseeable future, I will be maintaining my naval career as it is at the moment. Sarah is quite prepared to put up with that.
But also, I've got a job to do too, and I'm going to keep on working, and so I think it's going to be very good.
At some stage, Andrew and Fergie will get a house somewhere. Now, whether it'll be a Grace and Favour residence like Charles, who lives in Kensington Palace and the young Kents who live in Kensington Palace. That's necessary for them because of the security angle.
Will Sarah grab the limelight away from Diana, do you think?
Of course, they'll be away from London. Andrew will be posted to a ship, she'll be posted to a shore base. They'll be somewhere away from London, so she won't be seen at nightclubs and parties. She won't be seen going around town like Diana shopping.
Despite her busy schedule at work, her life as a Navy wife, and her duties as Princess Andrew, the couple want children.
Quite fun to have quite a few, isn't it?
I agree. I think it'd be quite fun. But again, numbers, size, and all the rest of it is still way in the future.
The biggest news in London today is that the royal couple will be honeymooning in the Azores. Officials there say it's perfect for a secluded visit, and they vow they'll restrict travel to the islands to prevent the prying paparazzi from ruining the special trip. In London, Selena Scott, Entertainment Tonight.
Next week's big story in London will be Boy George's scheduled hearing July 29th on drug charges. He's reportedly undergoing round-the-clock treatment in a hospital and is not available for comment. But Entertainment Tonight has an exclusive interview with his close companion, a man who calls himself Marilyn. Marilyn has not seen or spoken with Boy George since he was arrested, and in fact says he was cut off from George by some of George's friends.
The only person that's really tried to help George is me. I used to say to him, don't do this, and, really just don't. Because he used to take an awful lot of risks. And it just seems that I should have wasted my whole breath. I should have got on with my own life instead of trying to help my friend, which I thought was, the thing to do. Drugs it's not a nice lifestyle. It seems glamorous to the kids, like Hollywood and cocaine at parties and stuff, but it's not like that. It's not like that. Most drugs are addictive, and they don't have a good effect. It's short-lived. The high is short-lived.
And the damage is
irreparable.
Marilyn says that Boy George's public image is different from the real George.
I love the guy. When he's being nice, he is so nice and he can charm anybody. But when you see the other side to him, it's really scary. It's scary that someone could be so different. And it's difficult because I've always thought, well, I'll ignore that side and just concentrate on the... But it's not like that, you know what I mean? There is that other side, and it's not nice. I don't like dealing with that. He has or has had a problem, and he's trying to do something about it, and that's the main point, I think. Let's just hope he gets over it. He's been a good friend of mine. We've never been lovers. And I love the guy as a friend, but that's it. And I've got a life to lead on my own. I'm going to live it.
More of our exclusive interview with Marilyn tomorrow.
Next, Walter Matthau. Captain Red takes on all comers at sea and at the movies.
And full steam ahead, Genesis, a band of note, hits the top with an invisible touch.
No other long-distance company can give you all AT&T can, but what if our people weren't there? Network engineers who make sure calls go right through. Long-distance operators who give credit for wrong numbers. Customer representatives who help you make your dollar go farther. All the people who make our worldwide network work for you. AT&T Long Distance. For over 100 years, when you reached out, we were there. And you can keep it that way. AT&T, the right choice.
Here's to all the little people, 'cause starting out real small takes love and dedication and giving it your all.
For generations, we've made Kool-Aid with vitamin C and that taste kids love, at about half the price of soda. Today, you've made it the third largest soft drink brand in America.
Oh, we drink it all.
Kool-Aid, for a lot of little reasons.
The black Cadillac, please. Right away, sir. Excuse me. I believe that's my Buick.
Today, it's not easy to distinguish yourself from the crowd.
Is this my Cadillac? No, it's an Oldsmobile. I think.
The Lincoln Town Car, please. Yes, sir.
But the Lincoln Town Car stands apart. And whether you choose it for its unparalleled spaciousness or graceful ride, you'll know there's nothing like a Lincoln.
No one will ever believe this.
Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Backed by popular demand, ShopRite's fabulous half-price sale. Nobody does it like ShopRite. Over 50 prices cut in half this week. Diamond Spring Water, half price, 34 cents. I see 3-pack fruit drinks half price, 44 cents. So come to ShopRite this week and... over 50 prices cut in half this week.
This time it's war. At least so says the ad line for the new science fiction sequel, Aliens. And this weekend, the thriller annihilated the competition. Aliens opened with $10.1 million, according to Entertainment Tonight's box office estimates. It's one of the biggest opening weekends of the year. Another sequel, The Karate Kid Part 2, is still very much alive and kicking, finishing second with a weekend gross of $5.6 million. The Kid was followed by the other big guns of summer, Ruthless People, Top Gun, and Back to School. In addition to Aliens, 2 other films opened this weekend to more disastrous results. Vamp bit the big one with a weekend gross of $2.1 million. Pirates had less of a leg to stand on, grossing just under $1.5 million in its opening skirmish.
It took some preparation to play Captain Red in Roman Polanski's comic adventure Pirates. Walter Matthau took 5 months of fencing lessons, mastered the Cockney accent, and learned to live with one leg. Lisa Gibbons has more.
I am Captain Thomas Bartholomew Red.
I wasn't even thought of for this part. There was Jack Nicholson and Sean Connery and Richard Harris and Michael Caine and perhaps 30, 40 actors. They never had my name on the list. They never thought of me in this particular vein. But I always think of an actor as someone who is capable of doing anything if he's a good actor, or practically anything anyway.
It was physically demanding. I mean,
yeah.
Not excluding having to wear this wooden leg.
People became pirates because they were fed up with the unfair economic system of the time. You were either an aristocrat or a menial in the serving class. So some people didn't want to be, who were not aristocrats, did not want to be in the serving class, so they became outlaws. I certainly think if I was a member of the menial serving class in those days, I would become a pirate.
The winner's life shall be spared. Captain Red gives his word on it.
What did moviegoers on both coasts think about Roman Polanski's Pirates? Out of a possible 4 stars, ticket buyers who participated in our exit poll gave the new movie no stars at all. Pirates rated poorly in every area surveyed, and Movie Track's box office prognosis for Pirates is that it will walk the plank and disappear. Vamp, the new vampire movie starring Grace Jones, suffered a similar fate with ticket buyers on both coasts. They gave it no stars. Vamp fared poorly in all areas. Crowds were small, and Movie Track predicts this vampire spoof won't even get a bite at the box office.
Aliens, another of this weekend's new movies, scored a hit in Movie Track's exit poll. Ticket buyers gave it 4 stars and some of the best responses of the year. Crowds were large, and they liked what they saw. Science fiction films usually appeal primarily to male audiences, but not Aliens. It appealed to the women as well. Its star, Sigourney Weaver, scored high, too. Movie Track predicts Aliens will be among the top 3 summer movies at the box office, along with Top Gun and The Karate Kid Part 2.
The Twilight Zone trial finally gets underway. That and more when we return.
Coming up tomorrow, Masters of Terror hits outer space for the original of Alien. And Morgan Fairchild, TV's bad girl, heads for the big screen as a good girl.
Wednesday, Joan Collins on location in the right spot for Monte Carlo. And a behind-the-scenes report from London on the royal wedding. All on Entertainment Tonight.
A number of my colleagues and I
You've probably heard him.
The safety of the
A scientist talking about the safety of the Shoreham nuclear plant.
is clearly determined by multiplying the rate of neutron absorption by twice the length of the Long Island Expressway, resulting in an accident probability.
So why don't you want to take his word for it?
Million billion to 1. A conclusive hypothesis that a
Maybe it's because you know that scientists are only people.
Take place.
And people make mistakes.
Have a summer of fun in the Poconos. At your host with the most in the Poconos. Beautiful Mount Airy Love.
Have
every kind of summer fun at Mount Airy Lodge or Pocono Gardens. Beautiful rooms, fabulous food, headline entertainment. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Call 1-800-441-4410 for Pocono Gardens and
Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge. No other taste attracts so much attention. Diet Pepsi, you gotta be the most refreshing, yes, invention. See that smile, see that look. Diet Pepsi is all it took. No other taste attracts so much attention.
Play Pepsi Pennant Fever and get free tickets to a Mets or Yankees game. See specially marked displays for details.
Did you know if you don't choose a long-distance company, one will be chosen for you?
No, I don't go for that at all. Have someone else make the choice for you just doesn't seem to be appropriate.
I choose my own, and I've chosen AT&T.
Call any part of the world and I'm connected.
Every time you call, they say, thank you for calling AT&T. It's my right to have the phone system that I choose.
AT&T all the way.
If you're asked to choose and AT&T's long-distance services are important to you, mail in your ballot. AT&T, the right choice.
The trial of director John Landis and 4 others charged with involuntary manslaughter in the Twilight Zone accident that claimed the lives of actor Vic Morrow and 2 children began today in Los Angeles. Dick Shoemaker has that story in our news studio.
Mary, it's going to take a while before a jury is selected or there's any testimony in the Twilight Zone trial. The attorney for director John Landis has filed a motion to exclude some 16 witnesses in order to shorten the trial, and that motion is going to have to be argued first. Attorney James Neal says some of the testimony is simply unnecessary.
A person who intends to give his opinion has to qualify as an expert generally, unless it's a matter that's simply an inference drawn from his observations. So basically, that's what we're talking about. They have other experts. We're talking about some that they're supposed to call that we've argued not qualified.
I find it somewhat amazing that he has insisted to